Hello everyone. I'd like to read you a couple of things from this lovely book that Mrs. Epps recommended to me. As you can see from all my markers, I've had a hard time choosing, but here we go. The first one I'd like to read is called Me, and it's by Swapnil Haddo. Love me? I love the way I shoot through the sky when I jump, jump, jump. I love my stretchy arms and all the shapes I can make. I love my wobbly belly and my wiggly toes. I love my curly hair and my brown skin. I love my brain, my brilliant, thinky brain that maps my voyages and paints my daydreams. But sometimes there are days when I'm not sure I love me as much as the day before. So on those days, I squeeze my eyes shut. I take a deep breath in and I blow that thought away, away, so far away. And I hug my arms around me and I squish me hard. Then I jump and I stretch and I leap up high and I sing and I shout and make shapes and I wiggle my toes and wobble my belly and I dance on my head and I think all my thinks and I remember just how much I love being me. And the second one is called Blanket by Nicholas Skinner. I was 8. Dad was at the wheel, steering our car through the wintry moorland while dusk crept towards us. Gesturing at the cold, wild dark outside, he said, "If you were lost here and couldn't find me or Mum, what would you do?" This was in the 1980s when no one had mobile phones, apart from 5 Americans, none of whom I knew. Within seconds, I felt sure of my answer. I'd knock on the door of the nearest house. My parents nodded approvingly. Encouraged, I went on, and I'd ask to borrow a blanket. Ignoring their surprised looks, I added, which I'd wrap around me and then wander across the moor until I found you. There was much to admire in this plan, I thought, especially the borrowing of the blanket, which felt daringly sophisticated and also practical. My older brother shot me a pitying look and gave his reply. I'd knock on the door of the nearest house too, he said, but I'd ask to borrow their phone. This admittedly was something I hadn't considered. I'd phone the police and ask them to pick me up and bring me back to you. It might have been dusk, but I could see his winning smirk clearly enough. He had won this hypothetical survival task, and I was all alone in the moors with only a fictional blanket to my name. His answer was obviously the best. Now, though, I'm not so sure. Although my idea may not have protected me from hordes of wildebeests, if I had lived to see the dawn, I would have had the greater adventure. Children are often taught that being lost is a bad thing, an experience to cut short as soon as possible, and losing things is something to be avoided, especially like hope. Don't lose hope is the rallying cry when times are tough. We must never lose hope. But I disagree. Losing hope is as normal as losing a sock. I lose hope regularly. Some days I wake up and it's right there. Others, it's nowhere to be found, not even in my back pocket, where a lot of other things turn up. But if you lose hope, it doesn't mean that hope has lost you. I think hope likes to be lost, so it can bring back stories, dreams and adventures, plans for better days, promising of its starlit nights. Hope is full of wanderlust and must occasionally roam far from us in order to fulfill its true purpose. So if you can't find your hope, it's probably just exploring, looking for treats, just like a bird, searching out the juiciest berries to bring home to you. Yesterday I saw my hope down by a riverbank, admiring a tire swing that hung quite still over the water. She saw me and said, "One day children will come back to this tire swing and they will play across the river all afternoon." And she sounded so sure about this, I felt immediately better about things. And then I asked if she wanted to come back with me, as it was getting cold. "No, I'm good," she said, pointing to a fictional blanket that I faintly recognised, which was now draped across her shoulders. "I've got this."